If language shapes reality and perception, what happens when AI reshapes our language? Hi, I'm Michael Kilman. I'm an anthropologist and author of The Chronicles of the Great Migration, a sci-fi series featuring an emergent AI sentience and giant walking cities. As an anthropologist, I've spent years teaching the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, the idea that language doesn't just describe reality, it shapes how we perceive it. I've done a full 10-minute video on this topic already. Link is in the description. Today, I want to ask a different question, though. How does language shape AI, and how is AI now reshaping our languages? And I say languages plural because coders in China and coders in the United States are already building different flavors of AI based on culturally bound assumptions in their own languages. And any AI system is going to reflect the language and cultural assumptions of its creators. They are sapient systems, not sentient ones, a topic I discussed in my last video, which means they don't form an independent sense of reality. They're pattern matching machines, and since they're modeled after our language, they inherit our perceptions of the world. Cathy O'Neill's 2016 book, Weapons of Math Destruction, documented how embedded assumptions and algorithmic systems were already distorting policing, hiring, and education. And that was before modern chatbots like Claude and ChatGPT even existed. Those problems haven't gone away. They've just expanded into a lot of other parts of our lives. In fact, linguists are already noticing shifts in word choice across human writing, and I know I've mostly stopped using em dashes in my own work because people think it's a sign of AI-generated text. Thankfully, I published my first novel, The Chronicles of the Great Migration, in 2018, so I can always hold that up as evidence that I can actually write. After 11 years of reading student essays, I can tell you definitively that AI has its own flavor. Specific word choices and sentence structures are all things that many of us longtime teachers can actually recognize, even without a detector. The AI-flavored writing has started bleeding into how people write and speak, even when they're not using AI at all. Take the word hallucinate. A few years ago, this just described humans seeing things that weren't there. Now, millions of people use it to describe AI making something up. And here's the Sapir-Whorf part that gets really interesting. See, language isn't built in isolation, it spreads through conversation. It's based on social agreements of what a particular symbol means or does, and AI is changing some of those symbols. Which means people who never even touch a chatbot or any other kind of AI are absorbing these changes through the people around them who do. Sorry, guys, it's just kind of how language works. Don't hate me if you hate AI. We've also created a system where knowing how to speak the algorithm's language matters in everything from job applications to grant funding. ChatGPT was prompted to do keyword searches to decide what grant programs got cut by Doge in 2025, and even something as innocuous as an upgraded HVAC system got labeled as DEI. That has real-world consequences. The language you use to describe yourself and the things you do are now filtered through AI in many parts of our lives. And as a creator, I have to target specific words and phrases just so you can find this video. The algorithm rewards certain languages and punishes others. Which begs the question, how is human perception changing with AI? We know from history that new technology changes not only the way we interact with the world, but how we think about it. As an elder millennial, I've seen a lot of technological and language changes just in my lifetime. What do you think? Have you noticed any differences about how you think about the world in the last few years? Are there certain words you're now using that you weren't before? Because it's clear that AI is having an impact on the way we look at the world, and that's not even getting into propaganda, which is a topic for another video. If you want to go deeper on the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, including research and arguments for and against it, I have a full 10-minute video breakdown. I'll put the link in the comments. It's an episode of Anthropology in 10 or Less on YouTube called Is a Different Language a Different Reality?